Yes. So after doing that, I did a send of to my delay and my reverb. This is the delay I was using. The You guys already know the hedge delay from Waves, and I was using like a quarter notes of delay, also cutting off some of the lows. But then I like to add EQ to my delay effect, and I use the radio effect on the EQ. So I want my delay to be sounding more like a radio effect. It gives it this kind of sweetness. Then I use this particular reverb, the Mani reverb. I've already done some equalization on it, and I like using the plates. You get. Then I like also adding equalization on my reverb, but this time I didn't equalize it. I like the way it was sounding. So it was sounding like.
Fly with Jesus' wings, fly on safely, mommy. But the penny's heavy on me.
But if you listen to my delay, you see that the delay is a little bit low when the vocal is coming, but when the vocal is quiet, it comes up. It's side chaining. I did side chaining on the delay. If you watch, this is my delay.
Fly with Jesus.
You see that when the vocal is coming, I use my vocal to trigger this compressor on the delay track, on the delay effect. So when the vocal is coming, the vocal is acting as a trigger. It ducks down the delay, but when the vocal is quiet, it leaves it, then the delay breathes out again.
Fly with Jesus' wings, oh, fly on safely, mommy. But the penny's heavy on me.
And I was also sending my delay signal to the reverb. I want the delay to also have a little bit of reverb. So you see my delay here. I was also sending it to, you get, to the reverb. Yeah, a lot behind this. I did almost the same thing for the backups.
You again, oh, and my Jesus.
I did almost the same thing for, just copied the effects to this backup track.
You again, oh, and my Jesus will come. When God's trumpet says
You get. So sometimes most of these backups, I was the one suggesting it. As a producer, you should know the kind of backups that your artists should sing. So you should tell them a particular harmony to sing. You get. So if you now watch, there is this particular track here. I call them delay or reverb throw. I like to throw some delay in some specific words to make them shine out. You get. So this particular.
when God's trumpet says
That's when he said, when God trumpet shall sound. So I just highlighted that sound. What I actually did there was to just create a stereo track, like add a track stereo. But when I was from the input, I take out the input from my microphone because it's not recording through the mic this time. I'm recording through the lead vocal because I wanted to tap this audio from the lead vocal. So I created that from the lead vocal. You get. So you watch this particular track, the input is coming from the lead group. So when I press record, this track records anything that's playing on the lead group. You get. So that was how I got this particular sound here. Just that sound. So on this track, I made it to be a radio voice. So everything there is actually a radio voice kind of sound. Then I used Echo Boy. This is a delay from Sound Toys. So it was giving it this a little bit of. But if you watch, the style of the delay I used is verb. There's a lot of there are types of sound that's coming from this particular. I like this FM radio. I also like there are different types. Just studio tape, yeah. But I was using the verb, so I wanted the delay to sound a little bit like a reverb. And I was also doing a ping pong. I used the ping pong You get, so it was sounding left and right, left and right. So on the left it was 1/8. On the right it was 1/16. So they are different times. And I also did some low cut. You get, to cut off some of the lows so it doesn't sound muddy. Then I also added a little bit of saturation on it. So there is a lot going on in this particular project. Then I brought in the Valhalla Vintage to give it more of the, dreamy kind of, because it's an emotional song. He lost his mom and he's actually doing the tribute for his mom. So I wanted it to have that emotion. You get, so I also did it around this part. Before he went into this particular place where he was saying, "Holy, holy, the saints are going, a saint is going home." So at that place he said holy. I told him, guy, just let's do it like it sound like a choir stuff. Let it have that angelic feeling, like it's the holy, the saints are. So we recorded like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra vocals on it. You get, and it was sounding like holy, holy. So on this particular track, I just did. These are the tracks I did: left pan, right pan, 91%, 91% left, 68% right and left, just to give it that space. Then I sent it to the lead group track, which is, I named it Crowd. So what I used there is an EQ, cut off the lows and boosted a little bit of the top end so that it shines a little bit. Then this particular compressor is for me the source when it comes to backup vocals, or especially when you have a lot of group stuff that is panned differently. This particular compressor is just perfect because it treats the left different and treats the right different and gives everything a balanced kind of compression. Holy. You watch the right according to the volume of each of the tracks. So I feel the right side had a little bit of more volume, so that's why it's having more compression on the right and less on the left, but it's giving all of them like to sound like the same level. That's why I love this guy. Holy, holy, holy. You understand? It's making everything even with different right and left signals. So it's just easy. Just load. I just do load up the backup preset here on the API 2500. Then I just adjust my threshold, and that's all I do here on the compressor. So after using compressor, I like adding EQ. So I cut off the lows again, then boosted a little bit of the 1.5 to just listen to frequencies that sound good in a group and just boost them. So then this particular guy is another thing that added. Let me just play this. Holy, holy. This is what it sounds like after compression. Holy, holy. So then I brought in the effect rack from Sound Toys. You can drag in plugins from here, and set up your rack. There are lots of plugins here. You can actually adjust the plugins according to the way you want. This is like a rack. So what I added there was I added micro shifts. Let me mute some of these guys. Added micro shift, sounding like holy, holy. Without holy, holy. You get, he was making it a little bit wider, shifting the frequencies a bit, and he's making it wider. You get, then I added radiation just to add a little bit of heat. You get, holy, holy. He's making it brighter because I added a little bit of the treble. Then it's giving it this kind of white noise kind of sound if you listen properly. Holy, holy. Without. Holy, holy. You see, then I added Echo Boy. Holy, holy. You get to give it that delay, but I was using the FM radio kind of stuff, cut off the lows. Yeah, then I added the reverb to give it that like choir hall kind of effect. Then on this particular place, when the beat broke came down, when he was saying "keep on flying" at this part,
Keep on flying. Keep on flying.
so on that particular track, what I was adding was just the normal thing I added on the lead vocal. Then I added Echo Boy into it directly. I added Echo Boy into it directly. Then I added the Valhalla Vintage to make it bigger, and that was just, and that was it. You get, so if you found it helpful, just click a like. It helps the video. Drop a comment if you have a question. Go ahead to ask it. My number should be somewhere on the screen if you need me to work on any of your production, beat mixing, mastering, anything it is. Just hit me up on social media and everywhere. Let's get interactive. You get, at the end of the video, you see different videos on the cards. So anyone that suits you, you can watch other videos. Subscribe if you are new here, and do whatever you like with the video, guys. See you next time.